My point about Pittsburgh is this. You missed the playoffs for the first time in 5 years. Big Ben Roethlisberger, for the first time, didn't miss a game since 2014. He threw for over 5,000 yards, career high 34 touchdowns. But in the end, it wasn't enough. Now you're looking at the personnel that they got. Juju Smith-Schuster, your number one receiver. Dante Moncrief came over from Jacksonville after being in the league for 4 years. Let's see what he does as a number two. Jesse James is gone, but this kid Vance McDonald is now your primary dude at the tight end spot. James Conner already showed what he could do at the running back spot. He ain't no Le'Veon Bell, but he's no scrub. And so when we look at it from that perspective, there is no question that the Steelers have the talent. The Steelers still have their coach. The Steelers still have their quarterback. The Steelers still have their culture. But I put this more on Big Ben Roethlisberger because the reality is clear. Everything that's happened to the Steelers, and I'm not saying definitively it was Ben Roethlisberger's fault. I'm saying we don't know. I'm saying there are people who pointed the finger at you. And the one way to make amends is to go out there and get it done. Why? Not just because you're the quarterback, but you're a quarterback who got paid in the midst of dudes who wanted to get paid, who were number one at their respective positions, Le'Veon Bell, Antonio Brown. They didn't get paid. You got paid even though you ain't number one at the quarterback spot. They've invested in you. Get it done.
It's a good argument. There's a better one for a different player. Same draft class.
So says
How
you.
many Super Bowls has Ben Roethlisberger won?
Two.
So if time runs out on his career and at the end it was shown that he wasn't a good enough leader or he ran certain guys out of town or the culture shouldn't have been built around him, okay, what does that really do? Roethlisberger's never going to be in the Tom Brady, Peyton Manning category, but he'll be under that somewhere in the Hall of Fame. Yeah. He came in the same draft class. He was a 10th pick, I want to say. Phillip Rivers was 4th. Eli Manning was 1st. Eli Manning's got 2 Super Bowls and 2 Super Bowl MVPs. Ben Roethlisberger's got 2 Super Bowls. You know who doesn't have any? Phillip Rivers. He's put up better numbers than the both of them. 0 Super Bowls, none, compared to his 2 contemporaries. It'd be one thing if he was on bad teams. Phillip Rivers has been on a lot of really good teams, including last year's team, the team I picked to get out of the AFC. He looked lost at New England, lost. He had a bad game. And as much as his team may have been, it's really Belichick overmatching anyone he coaches against, Rivers looked overmatched by the defense. Overmatched. He looked like a deer in headlights. A veteran quarterback leader guy with all those numbers. Now check this out. How's the Chargers offense look on paper this year? How's the Chargers defense look on paper this year? Special teams got stars on that squad. All 3 phases of the game, you should be strong. When you really look at the AFC, the picks are New England and Kansas City by a lot of people. No one should be better than the Chargers. And if Phillip Rivers were Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes, we'd all be picking the Chargers. But he hasn't been. He's been a guy who will be known as a great quarterback, a guy you rooted for, but maybe a stat stuffer if he never wins. He has yet another opportunity. The clock is ticking. He's got to get it done now. He is the quarterback with the most pressure on him, Phillip Rivers.
Phillip Rivers has always been the bridesmaid. He's going to continue to be the bridesmaid.
Exactly.
First it was Peyton Manning. It was Tom Brady, and now you got Patrick Mahomes. The Chiefs are picked to win that division. They're a better football team. Here's the guy for me, Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield has the most pressure. Has nothing to do. We know Cleveland hadn't won games, and we know what that organization has been. Baker Mayfield has talked as much as any quarterback in the NFL. He's talked about being the leader. He spoke on another running back's opportunity to get a trade in Duke Johnson about if he don't want to be here, he need to go. He met Hugh at midfield and stared him down and told him it was my time. Baker Mayfield has made a bed that I don't think people are paying attention to. And if he doesn't have a great season, he is going to get crucified because he's made this bed. And you know what else people going to say? Well, he got Njoku at tight end, who's very good. He has 2 of the best wide receivers in the NFL that are very good. Freddie Kitchen comes in and develops this offense around what he does best. What's the excuse for Baker Mayfield? And all of this talk about the Cleveland Browns going to the Super Bowl and being one of the favorites. When we talk about all of these other quarterbacks, ancillary, it was what guys said about Ben Roethlisberger. We know Phillip Rivers' situation. Had LaDainian Tomlinson, probably his closest years to ever get into a Super Bowl. I don't think Phillip Rivers is going to win a Super Bowl before he leaves the NFL. Baker Mayfield has talked, has bartered, I played with a chip on my shoulder. I was the underdog, came in and broke records for a rookie at the quarterback position. Now everybody's talking about the Cleveland Browns and Baker Mayfield. If he doesn't ball out, I'm not sure if he can handle it.
I'm telling y'all, I think y'all are both wrong in this respect. What you said about Phillip Rivers, right on the point. Ain't nobody think about Phillip Rivers. I'm sorry, I mean no disrespect. I really don't. I really don't. Phillip Rivers is a good player, damn good player. I get it. Ain't nobody think about Phillip Rivers. You were talking about the only person that was talking about, Max, the only person that was talking about the San Diego who became the LA Chargers last year was you and people in San Diego who were upset that they were going. That's it. Nobody else was thinking about the Chargers. Not even a little bit. I'm trying to tell you right now. And I mean, you was in LA enough last year. I certainly was in LA enough last year. What didn't even think about them. What didn't even think about them. As a matter of fact, you had to remember they were playing in some StubHub Center, if I believe correctly.
Wait, they're not in
whatever
San Diego
the hell it
anymore?
was. Nobody was thinking about this, the LA Chargers, and we ain't thinking about them now. Oh, Melvin Gordon. Why are they making news? Because Melvin Gordon trying to get some money. That's it. That's what the Chargers are. Who cares? That's it. Number two. You get to Baker Mayfield. Here's the problem. Here's the one thing that Baker Mayfield has at his disposal. Youth. Second-year quarterback. That's what they're going to say. And not only that, second-year quarterback with a rookie head coach. So the combination of the two things is going to have you looking, and then we ain't even add Odell. Because, again, Odell, listen, if he go to Cleveland, it's all right in New York. Listen to this very big point, Max. It's all right when you in New York City. And you losing as grating as that is, there are distractions. What you got in Cleveland? LeBron ain't there.
Football.
Cavs games ain't there. You ain't going there to watch the Indians. Lake Erie ain't something to swim in. I'm sorry, unless you one of them polar bears or whatever. Ain't nobody trying to do that. So in other words, what I'm saying is Odell might lose his mind if they struggling in Cleveland. Big Ben Roethlisberger, two stars left Pittsburgh.
Thank you so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.